To weigh in on some of the key takeaways during the Prime Minister's official visit to Cambodia, we have with us Director of Centre for ASEAN Regionalism, University Malaya, Dr. Rahul Mishra.
So the first one, I think, is very important to those two memoranda of understanding on having Cambodian workers for both on the domestic front as domestic helpers and domestic workers, but also in the formal sector. And this is important because economies across Southeast Asia, including Malaysia, are now gearing up for this post-COVID phase where they are up for recovery, greater production, and also in terms of greater exports. So I think having this agreement at this point in time is very good. It's a smart move. Also, I think very important is the recent scams that we've had. More than 280 Malaysians became victims of these job scams in Cambodia. So I thought that point was also very important in terms of addressing it and nipping it in the bud.
Rahul also highlighted Anwar's focus in solving regional issues within ASEAN during his visit overseas, especially the ones concerning Myanmar.
Just past 6 months, right? From end of November to end of March, within this short span of time, the Prime Minister has had 7 visits. And if you see the trend, it is very clear that he has ASEAN focus in his foreign policy. And Myanmar currently is the biggest challenge that ASEAN as an organization and Malaysia as an ASEAN member country is facing. So there are 2 very distinct trends. One, I'm confident that the Prime Minister is looking at Malaysia's chairmanship of ASEAN in 2025 and working towards so many small and medium and long-term policy objectives of goals that he has to put forth when Malaysia takes over as ASEAN chair. But also the regional solidarity. You see that somehow the focus is always on regional issues rather than bilateral. I mean, Cambodia could be just an exception, and possibly his visit to China as well. But in other trips, we've seen that the regional focus, for example, during his visit to Thailand, the focus, so bringing peace and stability, it seems to me, is emerging as one of the central tenets of the current government's policy.